Hello, hello. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. I send blessings unto you today. My name is Daria, and I want to thank everyone who has joined this page today. You are going to be blessed, you are going to be encouraged, you are going to be empowered, and everything else that will help you on your journey. My name is Daria, and I am a successful, innovative business owner born to create and solve problems. That is the definition that God gave me for my life. It hasn't always been that way. I promise you. I was just like you, sitting just like that, watching videos of other people be successful, of other people living their dreams. I was meek, I was shy, I was suffering from debilitating anxiety. I'm sure if you go on and look at the list for anxiety, I probably suffered 80% of that list because I wasn't walking in my purpose, because I wasn't walking in my giftings, because I wasn't walking in the things that God wanted me to do in the earth. I was too busy solving problems for other people. I was too busy allowing other people's opinions to live my life. And I also was making other people's problems my emergencies. I had to learn to stop that. I had to learn that I needed delivered in my mind, I needed delivered in my body, and I needed delivered in my spirit. And when I went through all of that anxiety, I mean, that anxiety had changed my life. It, you had to go through it. You had to go through it to know exactly the way I felt during this time. It was unexplainable. I couldn't explain it to people, the symptoms and what I was going through. And God had me go through this whole thing without no medication. He had to show me how powerful I was. He had to show me what was in me. So I went on a quest for almost 2 years figuring out who I am and not allowing people to put their tags on me. Because yes, they did see some stuff in me. They did see things that God was doing in me, but I wasn't ready for them. I wasn't ready mentally. I wasn't ready physically. I wasn't ready spiritually. Um he took me on this journey. He took me on this journey, and um I thank God for my husband, because he was that strength that I needed. My family, they were that strength that I needed. And I came out of that thing victoriously. And I wrote about it because a lot of people were asking me, because a lot of people suffer from anxiety, but they suffer silently. They're too embarrassed to tell people that they're going through this because they think that somebody's going to say that they had a nervous breakdown, or that they're weird, or their mind ain't right. But no, people who suffer from anxiety tend to be the strongest people that you know, because they take stuff way too long and they sit on things way too long. And that is the problem with the anxiety sufferer. And you can take the medication. You can take the medication. Some people need the medication. But when you take the medication, remember, when you stop that medication, you still have to deal with those problems that you were having before the medication, because it's all about here. It's all mental. It's all mental. And it's your fight or flight response. And so God taught me, and I wrote about it, how to deal with those problems. And during that time, I lost 50 pounds. And it wasn't because I wasn't eating, it was because I was redeveloping my own body, and I was redeveloping my mind, and all that stuff was falling off of me. All those all those problems that I allowed in my life, the stuff that I suffered as a child, all that stuff was falling off of me. I was eating right. I wasn't eating a bunch of sugar. It was just everything, the wholeness that God wants us to have was coming upon me. And it took me reading. It took me being silent, listening to my thoughts, how I was thinking, and that's the hardest thing for many of us to do is sit quietly and listen to your own thoughts and listen to where your mind goes. Because wherever your mind goes, your heart goes. So it took a while for me to understand these concepts. But when I did, and when I understood, I took off. And I didn't meet the God of the traditions of men. I met the God of glory. I met the King of kings, the Lord of lords. No, I didn't meet him personally. He didn't come into my room, but he spoke to me in many different ways. And he showed me that he wanted me to live and not die and to declare the works of the Lord. And that is exactly what I did. And that is exactly what I'm doing. And this is why I'm on this page, helping empower women all over the world to be the best you that you can possibly be, to live your life by design. And today I want to, I'm gonna drop the computer. Today I want to focus on your giftings because it's your gifts that make room for you. He didn't say your talents makes room for you. He said your gifts make room for you. And when you get into this mindset and this focus of your or living from the seed of your gifts, nothing stops you. Absolutely nothing stops you because your focus is there. Your focus is, I want to live a life by design. And that is it. You don't get frustrated because you're trying to live in these itty bitty talents that you created, these decisions that you made to go to school. There's nothing wrong with going to school. Don't get me wrong. Going to school adds to your giftings. Um, it enhances your gifts. See, a talent is a skill that you hone in on, but your gifts is something that you you have. It's just something that you're born with. For example, just say that you wanted to be a hairdresser. You had no idea why you wanted to be a hairdresser. You were dressing up your Barbies. You were just going to get the baby dolls with all the hair on them, just the head, and you was just tossing her up, putting lipstick on her, putting her eyeshadow on, and she was looking way too good. And it's just a talent that you had. You grew up doing your girls' hair, putting the little French braids in their hair and tossing the little spirals up. You ain't never been to school for that, but something inside of you, something leaps, like it makes your baby leap, like you just something that you wanted to do. And all of a sudden you grow up and then you decide that you want to run your own business. And then here you are, building beauty salons all over the world. And then you start, this is when them skills and them talents, see, you got to activate your gift. This is when them skills, and you wondering why you want to be a manager. You wonder why, because all those skills is leadership skills. And God is telling you that He wants you to be a leader. He wants you to be an innovator in what you do. So you go get these skills. You go to school, you get your business management degree, and you thinking that it's for you to, climb up the ladder, the corporate ladder. But God is like, no, I need you to take that over there where, I decided to have you do hair. I want you to make people look beautiful. I want you to make people feel good inside out. And I'm going to use you that way. I'm going to use you and sow into these people's lives. And you're going to talk about me. And you're going to give me glory. And you're going to tell them how much I love them. And that's where the umbrella comes in. When you have your gifts, it's an umbrella of things that you can do. When you only have a skill, a talent, it's just like you get bored with it. You get frustrated with it. It's not all the way, what you want to be, and it's not all the way what you want to do. I have settled a lot in my life because I was afraid of who I was. And many people, I know there are many people out there that have that story, that you are afraid of who you are. You are afraid of who you can become because you know it's going to take money, it's going to take discipline, it's going to take time, it's going to take um, perseverance, it's going to take sacrifice. And with those five things, is that what you really want to do? Is that what you really, really, really want to do? Because we're big dreamers. We dream big, and it takes little steps to get there. You just don't jump from A to Z. You have to establish goals. You have to establish, a setting. You got to establish a focus on anything that you want to do. That focus has to be there. There's some stuff that you're going to have to give up. There's some stuff that there's some people that you're going to have to quit being around, because when you start operating in your gifts, everybody's not going to agree with you. Everybody's not going to agree with you. They're not going to agree with you quitting your job, because this world and this system is built on employment. But how many of you all know that employment is not promised to you? This is why God gave you these gifts. Guess what the synonym for gift is? Present. Present. God wants you to live in the present. He don't want you to live in your past and not in your future, the present. That's why them gifts are always in full operation at all times. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can make money from them. You can provide from your family. You can write books, you can journal, you can do whatever it takes. If you are the type that needs employment, you can actually sit down with these gifts and just elaborate on the person that you want to be. Them gifts is always in full operation. All it takes for you to do is activate it. All it takes for you to do is activate your gifts and focus on them. And focus on them. Activate your gifts and focus on them. I'm just letting you think for a minute. I'm just letting you think while I go through my notes and make sure I told you everything. And there are certain times that God tries to get your attention. So he'll give you opportunities that operate in your gift. He'll put you in different situations to see if you have the mentality and if you have the characteristics, which we're going to talk about tomorrow, the characteristics of being successful, the focus that you need on that. That's good. That's good right there. That's good because you need certain characteristics. Believe you me. And I had to learn that the hard way. And that's what I don't want you to do. Because there's certain times. See, we always say, you know what, we waiting on God. I'm waiting on God to do that. I'm waiting on God. I'm seeing what God say about that. And meanwhile, God is waiting on you. God is waiting on you. He'll put you in a situation where you think that you in survival mode. But all he's waiting on you to do is make a decision. All he wants you to do is make a decision. Make the decision that you want a better life. Make the decision that you want to live. Make a decision that you want that job. Make a decision that you want to run that business. And you out here, you down in the valley, you're in the wilderness, and you're like, Lord, where are you? And he's like, I'm right here. And I'm waiting on you because I gave you the authority to make a decision. Now I need you to make that decision. And once you make that decision, I will send my heavenly host. And then we'll see about your gifts making room for you. But right now, he needs to get in here. He needs to get in here because the battlefield is in the mind. And if you can't handle this, what makes you think that you're going to handle a business? If you can't handle your bank account, what makes you think that you're gonna handle hundreds of thousands of dollars that he's gonna put in there? from you making money from your success. If you can't pay your bills today and you still skimping off the top of your bills, robbing Peter to pay Paul, and not being accountable to these bill collectors, I'm talking about something today. I am talking about something today. God wants you lined up. He wants you lined up. He wants you perfectly aligned. And that is with your mind, your body, and your spirit. You are threefold. And if one is off, all of them are off. And he can't have you double minded and unstable in all your ways. He's not going for it. He's not going for it. Because he said you are perfectly and wonderfully made. See, we go around with these, and you know what? I can't wait till next week because we're gonna talk about affirmations. Next week, we got a lot to talk about this week, but next week we're gonna talk about these affirmations that I want to teach you how to manifest your affirmations. To really believe, you have to put a predicate on that subject. But we'll go into that. We'll go into that. That's gonna be a whole nother story. Let me see if there's anything else I want to tell you all tonight. It looks like we are we are complete. We ran into 16 minutes. Is there anything else in my notes? Nope. But I thank you all for joining me tonight. I had fun speaking with you, and thanks again for all those who joined my page today. Stick with me. Stick with me. You're going to be empowered. You're going to be empowered. You're going to be empowered. I promise you. I said that 3 times. You're going to be empowered. I promise you. God has taken me on a mission, and I have experienced what I'm talking about. I do not talk about something I have not been through yet. Um, and also, if you're looking for me online, we are redesigning my web page. So that should be ready within the next month, I would say. But you can all find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Periscope. I'm in all places, especially while my website is coming up. We have a book coming out called Wealth Building from the Inside Out. And it's about everything that I am telling you how we have to build from the inside out. And that's all I can tell you. But the book is a blessing. And I have read the book and found peace in my own life. So I know it's going to bless a whole lot of people when it comes out. But I thank you all, and I will see you all tomorrow night, tomorrow evening. Enjoy the rest of your day.